What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Profit Panel for Tuesday, July 15th. Just want to welcome everyone in here. We got the panel kicking off in just about 10 minutes, and I think you guys are going to be really excited for what Alex, Jack, and Jeffrey have to share today. So please say hi in the chat. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Welcome, Dennis, Earl, iPhone user, Jeff, Kathy, Mad Porch, Mark, Opal, Tommy. Great crowd in here today. A bunch of anonymous iPhone and iPad users. Thanks everyone for tuning in. The markets are hot today. Jack and Jeffrey and Alex have some hot stuff to share. So the big news in the markets today is inflation picks up to 2.7%. They're blaming that on President Trump's tariffs, perhaps fairly. Tariffs drives up the cost of a lot of things we get from overseas. The idea with tariffs, of course, is eventually we'll produce those things domestically, but we don't right now. Earl from Jacksonville, welcome. Good to see you in here. Earl, we have an office in Jacksonville. Awesome spot. Always love going. Love spending some time at Atlantic Beach. So what's going on, everyone? Profit Panel, of course, is always live. It's always completely live. So we want to hear from you. That's how we find we provide the most value to our viewers. So welcome, Earl. Welcome, everyone else. And please say hi in the chat. Let us know what you're seeing in the markets today. Breaking news per the Wall Street Journal. Tesla's top sales executive in North America has quit the company as the automaker faces a steep drop in sales. Tesla stock is it's been up over the past week about 5.8%, but today it is falling just about 0.6%, which for Tesla, that can happen in a few seconds. It is down 17% year to date. I mean, Tesla's valuation has never really made sense as a car company. But if you kind of believe in Elon's other crazy projects like Optimus robots and sort of his AI project with Twitter, XAI, Twitter now known as X, that would explain the sky high valuation, though. It has taken a bit of a beating this year. Of course, it's being reported that Elon Musk was just awarded a $200 million contract with the Department of Defense to help them modernize some things and use his XAI platform. So, maybe good news for Elon. Tesla doesn't follow the rules of normal stocks. Elon Musk doesn't follow the rules of normal people. And historically, it's actually been a really good bet. So we will see. What do you folks think? Is Tesla finally coming back down to earth, or is this just a good buy the dip opportunity as one of his insane projects may very well take off? I mean, it does seem like the future is AI, the future is robotics. He's really into both sectors. So let us know in the chat. We want to hear from you. Welcome, Dennis, Earl, iPhone user, a whole bunch of iPhone users, Jeff, Kathy, Kenneth, Mad, Mark, Opal, Seraphine, Tim, Tommy. Welcome to all of you. Please say hi in the chat. Let us know what's going on. And once Alex and Jeffrey and Jack kick this off, I think you guys are going to absolutely love what they have to share today. Got some really good stuff. I know Alex has been working, prepping something really cool for you. And Jeffrey's going to talk about his $50,000 trading challenge, and he's achieving an incredible win rate on that. So stay tuned, folks. Dennis, welcome. Dennis, where are you tuning in from? I know I'm broadcasting from here in the Rocky Mountains, and enjoying some nice summer weather. You think it's all like going to be like living in the Swiss Alps here, but we get some hot summers. So it looks like Dennis is in Florida as well. Welcome to our big Florida crowd. Um, so today, yeah, the big news again is inflation. It is ticking up again. So the panel is going to cover that. And some interesting things happening with Apple, some interesting things happen with Nvidia, and a smaller tech company, ASTS Space Mobile. Dennis says, thank you in the chat. Thank you for showing up, guys. We have the best job in the world, but we can only do it because you guys show up to the events. So thanks to all of you. Please, everyone else, say hi. We want this to be as interactive as possible. So definitely want to hear from you. Amidst all this inflation news, there's also the one of the big stories is who will take over again from Jerome Powell in the U.S. Federal Reserve. Dennis says he loves Profit Panel. Awesome to hear, Dennis. We love having you in here. And again, we can only do it because you guys show up. So this is just week 3 of Profit Panel. We're still working on smoothing out the kinks and making it as fun and valuable as possible for you guys. So if you have attended a bunch of these events, please let us know in the chat what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see us improve. We are here for you. So big bank earnings this week. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, all reporting earnings today in the next few days. So JP Morgan's earnings were better than expected. So maybe a sign that the economy ain't dead yet. I mean, we're flirting with all-time highs in the S&P 500, flirting with all-time highs in Bitcoin, with gold. And that's the funny thing is some of these alternative assets like Bitcoin and gold are doing just as well, if not better than stocks. I believe the best 2 performing assets this year. Um, and So hopefully some of you are riding the Bitcoin and gold trades. Earl, that's absolutely incredible. Earl says he's a diamond member with Jack and up $60,000 this month. That's a heck of a trading month. Congrats, Earl. That's absolutely incredible. He says, I don't trust my own opinion about Tesla. I just do what Jack says. Well, you're going to have Jack in just about 5 minutes here to talk some Tesla. So that is absolutely incredible, Earl. Love hearing winning trading stories and being up 60 grand a month. That's absolutely incredible. So congrats to you, Earl. And it sounds like you're doing it with Jack's help. Anyone else with some big winners? That's a massive winner. I'm guessing you're trading a pretty good size account, Earl, to get to those levels. But yeah, that's an absolutely massive winner. So even if you're not quite at that tier, which I'm not up that much this month, we still want to hear from you. But congrats to Earl on that huge, huge winning month. My gosh, you said this month it's only even half over. So you think you can keep that pace going for the rest of the month, Earl? That would put you on pace for a really pretty, a really pretty good. I mean, shoot, that's if you keep up that pace, you basically made a good white collar salary in a single month. So, well, are you doing anything else? I know you say you're a diamond member with Jack. You're following what he's doing, but any other secrets behind that incredible month? Let us know. And it looks like Jeffrey's just getting teed up here. Jeffrey's on an incredible stretch with his 50K profit channel. Excuse me,
Mhm.
50K trading challenge, and it looks like those results are right behind him.
Yep. Hard to be at a P&L like that.
Yeah. So what's your win rate sitting at now? I need my
It's
glasses to see.
yeah, that's just straight up basically. But here's the win rate so far this year to date, 94% still. right at $9,000. Not bad. I've got about 11 grand in unbooked open profit right now. That might come off this week. I don't know. We'll see. So that's pretty
We'll take
spicy.
that all day long, Jeffrey. Diana in the chat, welcome. Good to see you. Guys, this event is completely live, so we want to hear from you. Say hi in the chat, let us know what's going on. And once Jeffrey and Jack and Alex kick off the presentation, keep the comments and questions coming. The chat is public, so you feel free to share your thoughts with the entire world. Of course, we ask you don't, use any crude language or attack anyone else, but otherwise, let it rip. And I think the guys will be talking about inflation today. So, and the coming replacement of the Fed chair. What do you think about that, Jeffrey? You worried about getting a yes man as Fed chair?
I don't think it matters. I mean, I've been trading from, Greenspan and Janet Yellen and now Jerome Powell. And, I used to believe that they held power, but now when I look back at what Greenspan said, they don't know what they're doing. They're just making educated, wild ass guesses and just, they just chase the market. When you look at the DGS2, which is the constant maturity rate of the 2-year treasury yield, they just chase the market. It's, they've been doing that as long as I've been trading. And we go all the way back. They chase the market constantly, and when the 2-year Treasury pops above the Fed rate, when the Fed rate pops above the 2-year Treasury, excuse me, that's the Fed funds is the orange line. When it kind of blasts out by itself into clear air, that's usually when we get a market correction pretty viciously. Happened in dot-com bust, happened in the great financial crisis, happened in COVID. And now here we are sitting here waiting for what comes next. Probably some sort of epic correction because we keep holding that orange line above the actual market rate. So should
Diana
be.
says she wants Jeffrey for Fed chair. I'll second that, Diana. I've said this before. I think one of our guys could do a great job. And as Jeffrey said, they're at the end of the day, they're kind of throwing
They just
darts with a blindfold.
Yeah, they're just chasing the rate, and they don't. They're so arrogant that they think they control the world, and instead of being humble and actually conceding to the fact that they don't know. Maybe we don't know what our effect is going to be on the economy. And yeah, I think they probably raised rates too much and then now possibly cut a little too aggressively. But I do agree we should just keep holding it. I don't think they should raise it. I don't think they should cut it. I think stability is what really the market thrives on. So
I don't know if you listen to Tucker Carlson, Jeffrey, but he had an interview with the novelist Walter Kern, a really sharp guy, and who went to Princeton in the '80s, and he was talking about exactly what you just said, how being in the Ivy League in the '80s, and it's all these guys who are going to be future cabinet members and Treasury secretaries, and he talked about how kind of arrogant they were, and it's like, yeah, these guys, they actually, he said the thing at Princeton was they're too good to be the president. They have to be the guy behind the throne.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was a great episode. If any of you like Tucker Carlson, let us know in the chat. But Walter Kern, the novelist, really sharp guy, and yeah, talking about these masters of the universe at the
Ooh,
Ivy League in the '80s.
new Tucker
Um,
Carlson episode?
yeah, did you listen to the interview with Walter Kern, Alex? Really good stuff. But
No, I follow him on Twitter or X.
yeah,
was that a new
so
episode like this week's or last week's, or
yeah,
was
it's the
that?
most recent one, I think. So welcome, Jack. Good to see you in here. Jack, listen to this. You missed this because I don't think you can see the prior chat. Earl in the chat says he's a diamond member with you, and he's up $60,000 this month. So
The
big feather in
man.
your cap, Jack.
This month,
This month, yeah, Earl V in the chat. So
Earl,
Earl, congrats.
that's a new record. We're going to have to interview Earl. We've had two guys make over 60,000 in a year. Well, three guys or four guys, but we never had anybody make 60 grand in a month. Earl, I got to hear your story.
Yeah, Earl, if you want to drop your email or phone number in the chat, yeah, we'd love to break that down. I'm
Must be selling that
making it.
premium.
Hey, but you know
So
what? That just goes to show you the power that the individual trader has. And they might not realize it, but everybody's got the talent and ability to do something great for themselves in this market. More power to you, Earl. Way to
Right.
get money.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing is, if you go online, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you can't. Why are you gonna trade, man? You can't make any money. You think you're gonna beat the Wall Street?" And it's like, well, yeah, if you're just taking like rando calls or puts or day trades and being like, yeah, let me see if it go YOLOing it, but that's not going to work. But if you do if you go in there with a strategy and you stick to your rules, you can make money trading.
You can do it. Yeah.
Earl can do it. Earl did it.
Absolutely. That's
No.
my P&L right there behind me.
Jeffrey does it every day.
How you doing, Jeffrey? Good to see you.
Doing good as always, Jack. How's the mountains?
Did I interrupt something important you were talking about? Because I love listening to you. I'll let you get back at it.
Yeah, I was just commenting. One of the chat members said Jeffrey for Fed chair to replace Jerome Powell, but I was just talking about their arrogance with Ezra there before we got started, and yeah, I just feel like all those guys are so arrogant.
They are. Explain this to me, Jeffrey. How does somebody spend 2.5 billion in renovations? Oh, get a whole new
very carefully, very carefully.
You could get a whole new building for 2.5 billion, man. You know what? What's he put in there? Like a leopard skin rugs and statue? I don't know. How would you do it?
Not just a
You have
billion.
to-
You could
work
be
really, really hard.
for 2.5 billion. I could probably build a whole like complex.
Telling you, he must have gold toilets and stuff like that. 2.5 billion. Wow. It could be like a little taxpayer museum. Like, look at how much where your money's going.
I mean, I know we're 2.5 billion where I live, Northern Virginia. There's probably going to be some wealthy contractors out in Loudoun County get another boat or another McMansion out there.
I think I was telling you about the plumber out here that got a Lamborghini. I don't know what it is, Aventura or Aventured or something like that. My grandson always laughs that I can't pronounce it, but it's always great to see blue collar guys getting Lamborghinis dropped off at their businesses. And
Yeah.
Valley, man, those are the guys that are killing it. The blue collar guys are absolutely killing it over here. Whether it's plumbing, landscaping, anything. It's good to see.
Yeah, I'd rather those get wealthy than I think the most people in around Northern Virginia got wealthy off of Raytheon and Lockheed contracts. So I'd much rather someone building something maybe better, more moral. So welcome to Profit Panel, folks. Good to see everyone. Jeffrey's stunting on us over here.
I'm just showing off my consistency right here. That's my year to date right there.
What? How much you up? 19%?
Yeah, right at 20%, and I actually started this account on tax day, so that's only in 3 months.
Sandwich. Yeah,
3 months right there on 100, basically $90,000 account.
Are those trades or is that positions?
No, these are trades. I'm actually using a strategy near and dear to your heart, the wheel, but I'm adding some of my trend pullback continuation to it, and I call it the turbo wheel, and it's part of my 50K challenge. That's my personal challenge to build this account into an account that generates $50,000 a month of profit.
You know what? I would never in a billion years bet against you. I'd like to know what you're doing here a little bit. I love the wheel, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's near and dear to your heart right there.
We're going to be talking about that. We're going to go into that's the lesson topic for today, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do want to see how Jeffrey is going to build a monthly haul of 50K, well, get strapped in. Before we start all of this, though.
That's unfathomable for a lot of people, though. I mean, that's like to really put that, 50,000 a year. Imagine doing that in a month. Like that's what I'm building.
Yeah, well, you do that. I mean, you stop trading.
Oh, never stop trading.
You never stop trading. That's right, Jack.
Yeah, you're married to the game.
Married to the game.
Before we get started here, folks, disclaimer, we're not financial advisors. Content presented today is for educational purposes only and cite our own personal opinions. In order to make the best financial decision that suits your own needs, you must conduct your own research and seek the advice of a licensed financial advisor if necessary. I do this thing every day, this disclaimer. I feel like I need to get study like how the auction guys do it, so I can just breeze through this. But seek the advice of a licensed financial advisor if necessary. Know all investments involve some form of risk. There is no guarantee that you will be successful in trading, making, investing, saving, whatever money. Nor is there any guarantee that you won't experience a loss when investing. Always remember to make smart decisions and do your own research. So, look, I know the wheel is it's multifaceted. It's going to, I think people are really going to like this. Before we get to that, I just want to lay out, basically, just a little bit of, new market news, just so everybody can, stay abreast of what's going on. So inflation is up. We're talking about the Fed. The inflation readings were higher. They rose by 0.3%. This is top line inflation, CPI. I didn't really dig down into core. I know that increased in some things, mainly like clothes and some of the more cheaper consumer goods. Autos seem to not move. But I guess it begs the question, right? Is actually Powell smarter than he acts? Because is inflation coming back? And if it is, of course, you don't want to lower rates. Jeffrey, Jack, what do you think?
Well, core is down. That you said you didn't dig into core, but core was down. Month over month was in line, which year over year put it up slightly. They were estimating a 2.6 and got a 2.7, which basically everything came in line, in expectation, in line, in estimates. So no real surprises, and that's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah, it doesn't, again, those 2.7 versus 2.4, it doesn't seem like anyone cares. I know you said you don't care, Jack. It doesn't seem like the market's, we opened up a little high. We're about even with yesterday, but definitely not any sell-off or anything.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in I don't think the government can get it right. 2.4 versus 2.7. That's like they're making it up, man. There's,
It is. It's such a minute.
Before they go to lunch, they go, "Oh, how about we come up with 2.7? Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go eat." No one's doing any real math over there.
Hey, so
Did you ever watch that show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Yeah. The number's all made up.
Yeah. What was the tagline? It was like, and the jokes are something all made up. Yeah, exactly.
The points don't matter.
Yeah.
No, Jeffrey, I'm gonna like pretend I'm interviewing the next Fed chairman. Now, would you lower rates right now?
I think personally, my personal belief is that the U.S. market, the U.S. economy, the U.S. as a whole does better with stable rates that don't change.
Amen, brother.
I mean,
that aren't too out of whack, right? Like
let's just pick a level, stay there for the next year or two, and let everything settle out.
Yeah, good.
So
Yeah,
you
we
believe
guys spending 2.5 billion. That's insane. I really want to see what is he buying with that. Like, I can't get over it. That's a lot of money to renovate a building.
It's those $1,000 or $10,000 screwdrivers, right?
Yeah. It's just graft and corruption. Exactly. Every piece of drywall will have to be, a 4,000% markup.
Yeah.
All
right, let's get to the wheel, baby. Are we ready for the wheel?
Let's get to a few things first. So I just want to we talked about MP Materials last week. This company was bought. The shares were bought by the government, and with the guarantee that they would be selling to defense contractors, right? So MP Materials popped. Just real quick, this is pretty interesting, I think. So I just wanted to show this to folks. MP Materials popped on the news, and then it popped again when Apple said they're going to buy it. So I'll tell you, it's whatever the new economic paradigm that the Trump administration is embarking upon, at least with this company, seems to be working out so far. And I'm wondering, just as like, what other deals are going to come from big companies? I know I didn't want to buy this here. almost don't want to buy it now here, but I mean, if they announce another big deal, I guess it could still go up even more. So, yeah, it's pretty wild. Just a little bit. There's no real technical setup or trade here, but I don't know, man. This is just wild. If Apple or and some of the other big tech companies, maybe Amazon or Microsoft, ink deals with MP materials as well, that could be very interesting. Or hey, even Tesla would be an interesting one. And let's see. Let me see if I got any good stuff just down here. Nvidia again. Nvidia is going higher. Trump seems to have chickened out, tacoed again on Nvidia. They've approved their sales of their chips back to China, their H20 chips. So Nvidia is just, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. It's a beaut, you know.
That's almost a $200 billion pop today on their market
Yeah.
cap.
Yeah, for what, a $4 trillion company? Oh, I mean, it's crazy. There's no slowing down. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I don't know if anybody's looked at the Nvidia chart today, but $4 trillion companies typically don't gap like that. That's insane.
You get a little short squeeze in there too. There's a lot of Nvidia haters.
Yeah.
Like there's Tesla haters, guys.
Yeah.
Guys think this is just hot air, and they're wrong.
It really does seem like it. Who else, to me, it's either it's like either the markets, like Nvidia is so integral to the whole growth idea of AI. It's just either Nvidia, if Nvidia keeps going up, it's market's going to keep going up, and if Nvidia is all round tripping, illusion, then everything's gonna. I feel like a lot of stuff is predicated on Nvidia's sales numbers.
Well, when you look at Microsoft, what did Zuckerberg say yesterday? They're going to spend 17,000 trillion.
Yeah, something like that.
Did you
Something
read
like
that?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, they're paying AI engineers like $100 million.
It's so funny though, talking about Microsoft or Meta, right? So Meta says, I'm talking to these guys yesterday in the afternoon. Meta says, hey, they're going to go out and spend 17 trillion. I don't even know what it was. It was a number so big.
Yeah.
We're going to spend, right? So then these two guys I'm talking with, they're like, man, we got to buy Meta, right? They're making this big investment. I'm saying, listen, I'd rather buy the stock that's selling that stuff to them, right? They're spending a crazy amount of money. How about the company that's bringing that in? I'm going to stick with Nvidia because the money ends up in Jensen's pocket, no matter how you look at it. So I think it's great that they're spending that money, but I wouldn't buy Meta just because they're spending 17,000 billion trillion. Right? Got to see that pay off, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is the typical Mark Zuckerberg route of innovation where he spends exorbitant amounts of money and buys everything under the market. He did that, with Instagram, and so it's pretty wild, man. I don't know. Meta is, I mean, despite that, it's just kind of in a narrow little consolidation pattern here. Nothing much spectacular about this. I guess if we do see, we have some declining volume coming down on this trend right here. Do have it popping against the what's that, the 50, I think, no, 20, 20 and 9, kind of bouncing around the moving averages. Maybe we get a pop setting up here. I'm watching this just to see if we do get a consolidation pattern and then a pop. So yeah, I mean,
look at Susan. Susan bought Nvidia, maybe a call at 250 and sold it at 90.
Yeah, Nvidia. Susan, what was that? Was that a call?
Probably.
Yeah.
Way to go, Susan. Going out and getting it.
I mean, the thing about it, it's going to keep rallying until one day it doesn't. And right. then it's going to correct and it's going to be vicious because we all know it's full of hot air, full of hype.
You think so?
The hype can keep going.
Well, the round tripping stuff is strange to me. Allegedly, I don't know what to make.
Nvidia has done 70 to 90% corrections like 8 times in its past history. What mean, a stock that does that will keep doing that. So eventually it's going to do a 70 to 90% correction once again.
Yeah.
Just whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years from now. I'm not calling the win. It's going to do another 70 to 90% correction.
I can't wait. I'll be backing up the truck, buying all they want to throw out.
Yeah. So we'll get to the wheel shortly, but I just wanted to just one quick lesson just on sort of how to find continuation patterns in if you do want to do option swing trading. So this is kind of like what I like to use. So you can see here in ASTS, I think we talked about ASTS last week. It was on the watch list. But you're looking, the way I do it at least is, I look for sort of a flag pattern descending into like a consolidation zone, right? From a higher, so you can see that here. We had ASTS selling off, and then it started consolidating around between these two moving averages, the 9 and the 20. And you saw also here falling volume on that trend. And honestly, you probably could have entered here if you I just didn't see it. I was busy doing other stuff, but and then so I think I set a limit or set like my entry point here because this was a sort of a where the price bounced around temporarily in this consolidation zone. And this morning ASTS popped, right? So it kind of fulfilled all the metrics. We had the flag pattern, consolidation around the moving averages, falling volume in the consolidation, and then a little bit of higher volume on this breakout, kind of carrying the trend up. And then we broke through this resistance line here. I think I did a spread. I think it's I could check while you guys are talking about the wheel, but I think I did a spread this morning, and it's 10% so far. But yeah, just looking to like a bull call spread, just looking to get like a nice little 25% pop, either today or tomorrow with that. So that's a way we can talk about this more later, folks. If anyone is interested in kind of how to look for option swing trading opportunities, but that's how a lot of how I usually do it. With that being said, I know the wheel can seem complex to a lot of folks, and I know Jack's got a lot of info on that. Let's get to the wheel. Let's go. I'll let you share your screen, Jeffrey. So, or Jack, whoever wants to do it.
And Jack can start because this is his bread and butter right here.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't have a chart up for it.
And I can pull a chart up. Like I have a whole bullish list because I actually had a twist to it. Since I have a ability to kind of find bullish.
Oh, is that charts. Where you think ASTS is going all the way up to?
Yeah, 60. I'll share the screen so we can see a little better and take it off of me there. And yeah, that 64 area.
Yeah. Based
on the bounce and my fib lines and my techniques, that's a very realistic target right there. For that next 6150 actually right there. Possibly as high as 64, maybe comes up a little short at 59, but that kind of target area right there would be my next expectation for an expansion.
Very nice.
Just honing in a little tighter, this works on all time frames. So right here, it's a 1 hour, what I call roadmap line bounce. And my roadmap line is basically a 144 EMA. And we're coming up into the 618 right here. When we get the hourly close above that 49.40 area, that sets up the rally to 55, 57, possibly 62 up there, which would be the target zone.
Is that just the 144?
Yeah, it's just a 144 EMA. The other one's a 169. I actually give the code out and everything on my YouTube channel. For anybody, it's all for free. But if you just want the easy button to put on your chart, we charge $5 for it. I can throw the link in the chat here, real quick.
Yeah, I think people would be interested in that.
Yeah, for $5 you can get this and a watch list of ones that are bouncing off of this on the daily chart every week. So let me throw that link in the chat. Right there. You can pick it up for $5. I don't know anything else you can get for $5 that's this valuable right there. This repeatable pattern though, it works on all time frames. Once we get the candle close above that 618, any time frame this works on, it's 74% likely to hit that 1.1448, 70% likely to hit the 1272 right there. And I have tens of thousands of trades back tested, all time frames, to prove that those numbers hold. So 74% likely to hit that 55, 70% likely to hit the 57 right there.
Jim's saying it's the best $5 he's ever spent. Mark is saying it's $5 well spent as well. So trust Jim and Mark.
Yes.
It's a quality tool, and it helps me make predictions like this. And you know, the wheel, it's relatively simple. When this is Warren Buffett's method, is what everybody says. You want to, everybody knows buy low and sell high, right? So let's just suppose that we're looking at ASTS right here, and we want to buy low. Like, where's a great place to buy low on this chart? I would say right down here is a great place to be buying low, right around this 42.50 support on this 1 hour chart where we just bounced off of.
And does this work on POS and TradingView or just TradingView?
I have it for TOS, I have it for TradingView, I have it for MotiveWave, I have it for and I give you the code so you can actually put it in any platform that you want to, with AI, you can pretty much code it for any platform you're using. And I turn it on pretty much every trading platform I use. I give you the easy button for both TradingView and Thinkorswim with that $5. So there you go. So back to the wheel. Where would you hunt for support? Right here, 42.50 on this 1 hour pattern. And this is a bullish chart. I'd love to buy it at 42.50, right? I'd love to buy those shares. So how do we, with price up here at 49, how would we buy those at 42.50, Jack? How would we do that?
We would sell a naked put.
Sell a naked put. So the beautiful thing about TradingView now is they have added options. So we can jump in here and look at options. And for my super aggressive strategy, I've been staying on this week's options. But some people in the more traditional wheel strategy like to go out a month or so. Those 42.50s right now, going for around 14 cents, maybe 10 cents, somewhere in this 14 to 10 cent area. Maybe that's enough premium, maybe not. Maybe we need to jump out a week. Look at it. And 42.50 is going for a spicy 48 cents.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. See, Jack likes that number, 48 cents. So we could actually sell that premium right there. We sell a naked or cash secured put in your account.
Yeah, let's say we sell one for $51 just for starting off.
Yeah, let's say we get the 51 right there, the bid price.
Now for the folks watching this, they don't have to own the stock? Do they have to own the stock?
No. That's the beauty right here. We're selling a put without owning anything else.
Your very first move is you take in the money.
Yeah, we take in money. We sell this. Now, when you sell a put, it gives you the obligation to buy those shares at 42.50 if the owner of that put, somebody's buying the put from you, if the owner of the put decides that they want to execute and put you those shares at 42.50, you have the obligation to buy those shares at 42.50.
And you get paid to take that obligation. That's like saying you're going to get paid to make a promise. That's it.
Yep.
So we're collecting, Jack wants to collect $51. That's, these operate in chunks of 100 shares. So 51 cents actually is $51. So you're going to get paid $51 to take on the obligation to buy ASTS at 42.50 on July 25th, 2025.
Beautiful trade. Just the concept of that, right? Now, most of the time you buy a stock and it has to go up and blah, blah, blah. This naked put, you're getting paid for a promise. You get to pick the price, right? You get to decide how much you want to take in, and you make that money whether you get the stock assigned to you or not. Right there. That first step in the wheel is beautiful.
And this only about 13% likely that you're going to take that stock at that price right now. That's a great support level. It's a great price.
But you're not actually buying the stock. If you do get assigned, basically, you're not actually having to even buy the stock at 42.50, right? Because the premium you collected.
Yeah, the $51 off of that, $51 is money you took in. So your real cost when you bought those shares is actually $41.99 per share. If you got executed.
So you could turn around and sell it the minute you get it assigned and still make money if you wanted to. But that ain't what we would do with the wheel.
Yeah, with the wheel though, we're sitting here, look at this beautiful potential upside pattern here. You know, we would have to dip the price back down here to take on those shares. But we're still looking at this beautiful upside potential target up here. That gives us a huge potential upside. So let's say that it did dip. Let's say we did this back here and we actually put the shares right here on this dip, and now we're over here.
Yeah.
All right, let's say roll back in time. Let's say we actually did this. We sold that put. We got put those shares, and now we're over here. So what would you do, Jack? You know, we're up off. You know, we've made significant money already.
All right, I'm in the money. I'm in the money. I got the house's money, right? I got paid for making a promise. Getting paid for making a promise is crazy. So I got paid. Now the stock is working in my direction.
Yeah, we're up about $7. We're up about $7.
I think I'm going to sell a call at the price I think it's going to go to, maybe a little higher, right?
All right.
Bring in more income. So I made income when I sold the naked put. I made capital gain when the stock went up, but now I want more income.
Yeah, and we just discussed some possible targets like 55, 57, maybe even all the way up to 60, 62. So let's go look at some of the options for selling some of this upside premium. Now, to sell this, we're going to sell calls, right?
You got to get the stock first, though, my friend.
So we have to have the stock. We got put stock.
You got to have the stock signed.
So, and if for everybody watching this, right? Because we want to make sure that they get this. If the price doesn't drop, you just rinse and repeat selling those puts. If you're
you just keep
on selling them.
Keep selling puts at the support levels. I like to go for support levels. And
you like to go 1 week out. You like to go like, what's the optimal? Jack, what do you do? And you said 1 week, right, Jeffrey? Jack, what do you like?
I go a month out.
Go a month.
Yeah, I'm super aggressive in my 50K challenge, and I sometimes I get 3 or 4 of these. I recycle my cash 3 or 4 times a week sometimes.
Amazing. That's amazing.
I'm able to book out 90% profits and then roll on and take other opportunities.
Okay, so we sold the naked put.
Yeah, we sold that naked put.
Stock took a little tumble, and we got assigned the stock. Right now, we made money selling the.
Our cost is 42 right now.
Got a capital gain we haven't realized, but to really put some more icing on this bad boy, let's sell a call.
All right, our cost 42. Current price 49, and our target, let's just go with 55 right now.
Perfect. And it is important just to note, folks, that if you do sell that put and you do get assigned, you got to have the money to buy it. So, like for instance, what was the strike price? 41,
42.
42. So you have to have
42.50. So you have to have $4,250.
Oh, yeah.
Or 20% of that if you're doing it on margin.
Right.
So here we are. These are our numbers. We've got a cost of 42. We're up $7 at 49, and we're looking for 55 bucks. So we can roll out here. You know, Jack likes a month out. So let's flow out to that monthly August expiration and start hunting some opportunity here. That 55 strike right there. Ooh, that's rich, Jack. Look at that.
That's fat.
And what's the technical analysis show on that price setup at 55?
Yeah, so we were looking at that as the conservative exit right here. 55 right here. That would be a conservative move from where we are now up here to 55. So if we sold that call, if we sold that 55 strike call, here's the things that happen. 1, we take on an obligation to sell our shares at $55. And that's number 1. Number 2, we collect a fat premium here that Jack and I are kind of salivating on right now of $3.78 per share.
Looking at this thing. Hold on.
Again, Jack, excited.
You are.
$3.78 per share. So we're talking about $380 to sell this obligation.
Plus the 51 when we sold the naked put, right?
Yeah, plus we got 51 cents. Well, that took our cost down to 42. We're up $7. We're collecting another almost $4 right here. Plus, we get the money that we get on the shares from going from 49 up to 55.
Woohoo! Can't take it.
That's another $6. So we're $13 on the shares plus another $4 on this premium. Holy moly, we're at $17 a share profit right there.
I love this, man.
And so if say you do have to sell those calls, right?
Yeah, you would sell these calls.
Yeah.
That now you have an obligation if price is above 55. Now the caveat here, if price goes above 55, you're kind of limited to 55 unless you do some other strategies like rollouts for more premium, possibly up and out, but that gets more advanced.
There's no problem being limited when you're making this much money.
Yeah. And this is $17 a share, almost guaranteed money if we get to 55.
Now divide that by what we put into the stock and for our total yield.
Yeah, so let me pop up the calendar here, our calculator. We're talking about $17 profit, and it cost us $42.50 per share to get in. So we're talking about a 40% upside profit potential right there.
Whoa.
40%.
All that income, 400 and some bucks in income.
That's beautiful.
Capital gain. It doesn't get better than that, folks. To make that much income, really think about it. To make that much income and the capital gain is so much better than just buying a stock and hoping it goes up. You've set yourself up to win with the wheel.
Now, do you people are really liking this. DLC, you are right on your comment. Jeffrey can confirm on that, but yeah. And you don't have to now, should you let it expire, or do you take your profits at a certain percent, 50 to 80? You said 90 sometimes. Like what are you trying to?
There's a lot of flexibility in here, and different people do it different ways. Jack has his way, I have my way. I'm usually kind of target with my 50K challenge. I'm targeting a 90% profit on those sold options. Then I close them out and go for something new, recycle that cash. Now, Jack can comment on how he likes to do his more traditional wheel strategy. And
I'm fishing and riding dirt bikes all the time. So month over month makes sense to me. But if I was grinding like you do, Jeffrey, and good at it like you are, then I would do exactly what you're doing. I have stuff that I'm aggressive on, but not like this. I love the way you're doing it. But for me, the monthly thing works out because, bills are paid monthly. I just like to set it up to see, make a ton of income every month and doing it in a kind of casual fashion, I would say.
Yeah, let's compare these numbers though. We just went through what it would be if we rode this from, roughly if we did this wheel strategy and sold out at 55. What if, we were back here in time when we did that, where we sold that put and we just went and bought shares instead. And our cost is, let's say we got 46, right? So 46, and we didn't know about selling options. We didn't know about the wheel strategy. So we didn't get paid to get into the trade at 40 at a cheaper price.
Shame.
We just got in at 46. That now cost us $4,600 instead of $4,250. That's more money on the line, more risk. First. Second, let's say we sold out at the same 55, right? Didn't do anything extra crazy. We sold out at 55. So that's $5,500. We didn't get paid to commit to doing that. We didn't collect the extra almost $400.
Had to stress out that it was going to hit that amount the whole time.
Yeah, we rode it through this dip right here. Oh, nasty.
Unrealized loss.
Yeah, we were down. We were down about $400.
Stress.
That's stress. That
Aggravation.
$400 right there. That's what we collected to make a promise to sell it at this level.
Yeah. And you might even get out if it dropped $400, right?
Yeah. You might have. There's the possibility that you closed it. You got worried. You had fear that grips us all. Oh man, that's scary, right? Being 400 down, almost 10%.
Yeah, you'd 7%, whatever. You'd cut that loss, right?
Yeah. That much capital.
The whole trade.
Yeah.
But then, Matt, even if you did hold through it, being down that much didn't get you anything, except maybe some sleepless nights.
Yeah.
And then you only made $900 on the upside.
After all that stress.
So
that's what ruins traders right there. That's what ruins them. They buy a stock, they think it's going up, it goes down, they get out, and then they can't help but watch it go back up, and they want to quit trading. Right? That's brutal.
So this gain right here, if we just bought when we were going to sell the put originally, and then sold when we were going to sell anyway, we made 19.5%.
Versus
less than half of what we made by selling a put here and selling a call here.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little poll with the participants. How many of you like the wheel versus directional trading? Wheel or directional? Type in your answer. Let's see.
I love, yeah. Pete bought the roadmap also. Dan likes it. Pete likes it. I think everyone likes this. Oh, one question we have gotten: Jim likes it. Diana likes it. Everyone like Earl. Wow, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Now there's two things I want to clear up for folks. So first off, we have a lot of people want a replay of this, and Jared, I don't know if you're around, but they do want a recording of this. I think this would be really good for people to get a recording of. Will there be a recording? Where do we actually? We're still trying to figure that out. Where will this recording be? How can we get it to folks? I don't know if you're ninja moderating here, Jared. But folks, we will get this recording to you. Jared's going to look into it there. So yeah, we're going to get this to you.
You got to have it. This is a recording that everybody needs to watch a couple times.
And so, and then the other question I had is the stocks that you do this on right now. So we're looking at this on ASTS, right? But is it better to do this on ASTS, which is obviously a volatile stock, or something like Philip Morris, right? Which is
can't do it on Philip Morris because there's no juice in the premium.
Right.
So what makes a good option stock is for options is you got to have pretty much two things: a directional bias and some volatility, or you won't have any juice in the stock. So I like to pick stocks that have a beta over 1. The broad market has a beta of 1. Anything over 1 is more volatile than the broad market. I like stocks with a beta over 1, and the trend is you got to have it in a trend, or this won't work if the stock isn't trending higher.
So so this is not getting rid of momentum, technical analysis, any of that stuff, but it's just a better way to play it, honestly.
The hardest part is getting the stock assigned to you. And when I was doing this wheel, I did it with Archer Daniels Midland one time in a class, most boring stock in the world, but I was trying to add it to my dividend portfolio. And everybody, when I first did it, couldn't believe it because, people are afraid of naked puts. They just think it's got one of the worst trades, most risky trade in the world. But the reality of it is if you have a stock that's in a good trend, it's difficult to get assigned. Sometimes I have to move my naked put closer and closer and closer to the market price of the stock. It took me 7 times, 7 naked puts to finally get Archer Daniels Midland assigned to me. And the wheel don't start until you do that. So sometimes
they have good premiums, Archer Daniels? They're pretty
good.
good.
They have terrible premiums.
Yeah, about to say.
Terrible. Yeah. I was trying to add it to my dividends for life portfolio, and I was just showing people how I use the wheel on pretty much everything that I'm trying to get into.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to raise the strike of that naked put to get a little closer to the price of the stock so you have a better chance of getting assigned, because you don't get assigned, nothing happens. Yeah.
I sold this one. I sold this one Rocket Lab 3 times before I got assigned right here.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. But look that's also still good. People say, oh, wow, I didn't get assigned. But in the meantime, you're making cash flow 3 weeks in a row right there, right? So even if you don't get assigned, you're making great money. But when you do get assigned, that's when the magic starts to happen.
So if you want the whole sort of underpinning of this, right, is you want to do this on stocks you don't mind owning.
Right.
That's number one. You have to be willing to own this stock. If
Yeah.
you're like, I would not buy that stock ever, I don't want to hold it, do
Nah.
not do the wheel on that stock.
Yeah.
And if it's trending down, you're going to get killed. It'll never work. So, yeah, you got to have a stock trending up, one you would want, one with a beta over one. And like Mark says, I love working smarter instead of working harder. You make twice or three times as much money with this as you would just trying to pull off a directional trade.
And we
So,
were talking about this like a couple weeks back, but like, trading, if you think of it more like a business, right? You're trying to get cash flow in your
Right.
business. Well,
so,
this is an excellent way to do that.
so Jeffrey, let's just give them a brief overlook. When you did the Rocket Lab 3 times, like what kind of premiums were you bringing in those times? Probably pretty fat ones because this is a volatile
You know what?
stock. So you make a
I
ton.
have the exact trades we can look at right here.
It's my dog.
We can jump in here and I'll have to roll back just a few weeks to get, here's a Rocket Lab put option right here. Sold 7 of them for 30 cents.
Nice. 100%.
And that's when I got put the shares right there. And June 13th.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So I got paid, I took 7 of these puts and sold them for 31 cents each. I was only out about a week. That's, 217 bucks profit. Cha-ching.
All right. Dennis is asking for a couple of stocks for the wheel. I just got to say IBIT.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one.
I love it. I love that thing like a fat kid loves cake.
Here's my list of potentially bullish stocks that I've been going
Okay.
after right here on my screen.
Hood is another one. Hood.
Yeah, that Hood. What about Nvidia? We talked about Nvidia. What is that?
Expensive for people, right? Is the only problem. It's not a cheap play. IBIT and Hood. Hood is gonna rip, man.
What do you think? What are you thinking here on IBIT, Jeffrey? I'm seeing maybe I don't know
Yep.
what the premiums are, but 56.70 around there, maybe for a trace back, but maybe even up above that at 60, low 60s.
Yeah, so right now, my 1 hour, going back to my 1 hour chart, somewhere around 62, if you believe that's going to hold, if we're going to retrace that deep.
I'd love to buy it at 62.
Right there. Now, the
Yeah.
upside potential on this one, pretty spicy right now. And we were talking about this last week, I think. Yeah, we could come on up to 76,
Whoa.
maybe even 100 if things got really spicy. But realistically, maybe a 40-50% upside left on Bitcoin. And that would put this roughly around the 90 area. Take this divided by 2, 33 bucks. That's a 50% upside. So we're talking about, maybe around 99, right around 100. So that's not unrealistic, really.
Oh, I like
It
that.
looks like you can get at 62 and a half, bid ask is 48.51 on IBIT, 63 is, 58.61 bid ask. So
Yeah, we can jump in here and look at some of the options. Really, I can pull that up really quickly.
Yeah, look at this one, and then let's look at Hood. People are gonna really like the Hood.
So we could, go in a month out like Jack likes to do, August 15th, next monthly expiration, 62, you can pay it $1.45. And if you wanted to be more conservative, came down to 55, you can still get paid 40 cents.
mm-hmm. Now, that's a good question, actually. So for folks who are thinking about doing this, is there a premium amount they should be targeting?
I like to hang out in, Delta is kind of a nice way to look at your risk. Just roughly, it's not exact, but these are, 17% likely to get put that at 59, 14% likely to get put that at 58.
That's not high enough of a percentage, right?
Yeah.
I
I mean, if you want to be more aggressive, you can come up here around 30%. That's at 62, 63.
Still not high enough.
Oh,
If you really want to get put, you can come on up, 40% likely to get put, 65 right there.
And now, well, you can't get in the game till you
so
get.
what do you do, Jack? What delta do you aim for there? The
I
40s?
don't really look at deltas.
Okay.
I'm not smart enough to figure out how to use the Greeks.
That's where my technical analysis comes in a little bit.
I've never used the Greeks once in my life. In 40 years, I've never used them. I don't want to use them. I've read enough. I don't want to read and learn.
Pure price action, then. Just
Pure price action.
Now, see, you can jump into the weekly. This is where I live and love this, because when you jump into that weekly and you sell it for this Friday, these now become like 30% likely for me at 65.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to capture, 90% of that 60 cents sitting there. And
Yeah,
we've only got 3 days left this week.
I know.
So capturing that money in 3 days, that gets pretty spicy. And then you can do it, on Friday, or even if you book it out on Thursday, if you got 90%, you go again next week, and then you go again next week, and you go again next week, and you go again next week. Look how many times we did it before we got to that August right there.
This is why I told people this one time, and I think lawyers hate this, but naked puts is the closest thing to free money the market has to offer. Especially in this market. I mean, it's hard to get a put when everything's ripping higher, right? But
Yeah.
your weekly thing, man, you're getting paid every week, right? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm getting paid every week. And sometimes, like I said, I'm recycling that money several times a week into other opportunities.
Nice.
So if I if I got into this and got out tomorrow for some crazy reason, Bitcoin went on another $10,000 spike, and this dropped down to, 5 or 6 cents, close it out, and then hunt another opportunity, like move up and find the one that's 60 cents again and
Put it
sell it.
up, put it up. Remember, folks, you can't get in the wheel game until you get the stock assigned to you. So, it's a fine line between going too low and just collecting money every week.
Now,
Go too high and constantly getting assigned, but you find that
So
sweet spot.
there was one question a while back, and I think it's important. Um, how does the math change if you're doing these puts on margin?
It's crazy. So I got a calculator in the members area. You basically, when you're doing a naked put on margin, you only need 20% of the underlying stock, plus the premium, minus the amount out of the money, blah, blah, blah. And I flunked ninth grade math, so I hate doing these longhand calculations. It takes you forever to find one you want to do it. But now with the calculator, it's a piece of cake. But when you're doing naked puts on margin, the yield goes up dramatically because you got so much less money in the game, right? Just a fraction of it. So the yields go through the roof. It can be 20, 30% a month on naked puts.
now the reason that I hang out in the delta I hang out in, Jack doesn't really pay attention to delta, but the reason I was targeting this kind of delta right around this, 15 to 20 cent area is because typically when you sell that right there, no matter the time frame you're in, like this one's got 3 days left, but when you divide out the number of days when you're hanging out right in this area, that's usually between a 30 and 40% yearly ROI on the cash it would take without using margin. 30-40% a year, and you would never take the shares, which is that's a pretty healthy dividend without ever even owning anything.
Yeah.
Without even owning anything. That's the craziest part. Without owning anything, you're making 40% a year. You're killing the market. You got no risk, no worry, no headache, no stress, no sleepless nights. Man, oh man, do I love cash flow from options.
Now,
You just get out the wheel greatly.
so a lot of people have asked about Nvidia, and I know I'm going to ask you in a second about another ticker.
For anybody that doesn't believe this works, this is my profit and loss doing this for the last 3 months.
Yeah, and no, this and the wheel strategy is, I mean, it's it's a real thing. It's not like Fugazi. You can see it there on the P&Ls, but people just, I think they see when they go to open up, selling that put. I think they see the numbers on their order and they're like, "Oof, I don't know about this," right? They get scared. They get scared off. But if you have the structure of the trade and the idea that you're doing, you, like Jeffrey is showing, like Jack's showing, this is a very viable strategy.
Yeah, right here is my list of potentially wheelable stocks right now. I have a whole variety. I have stuff down to, $18 and stuff all the way up to $300-400. So there's you can play all the way, up and all the way down. There's Warner Brothers Discovery possibly making a long-term bottom. That one has upside potential into the hundreds of dollars. If you got put now at $12, you could potentially ride that up to into $150-200.
So someone was asking. So I know Nvidia, you said, was really expensive. It's going to cost a lot for folks, but What about like another chip stock? What about AMD? We've had a few people drop AMD. No, I don't know how that looks. I haven't checked out that chart recently, but
I do expect a pullback, and my support level's down here around 120, maybe even 110 on AMD. We are spiking today on the Nvidia news.
yeah.
So today, probably not the best. The best day to sell downside premium is on a down day. That's the piece we kind of left out here. Down days are a great day to go sell premium on put side.
Yep.
Up days are great days to hunt the premium on the call side.
Yep.
And that's one thing you have to keep in mind. So you're kind of hunting for the buy low and you're hunting for the sell high.
Right.
When you kind of think about that.
So just in terms of bringing in premium, when you got a stock that's up 6.5% like AMD, today is a great day to sell a covered call if you already own it.
Yeah, if you don't own it, today's a great day to wait.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to buy stocks when they're up, right? When they're up like that. That's you want to sell into strength like that, not buy into strength like that.
Yeah, hopefully this is helping people kind of understand a longer term how to stay in the game.
Exactly. And this is a strategy I call taking the long way home, because you could be in this thing for a year or two, right? Just over and over and over grinding on it. But everybody ought to pick at least one stock and stick with this for a year and prove it to yourself that you're going to do better with this than anything else with way less risk. Again, you don't even have to own it. You could just sell naked puts all day long.
Yeah, this Celsius right here, a competitor to Monster, which everybody knows I love the Monsters. I drink them every morning.
Are you a Monster guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the title of my morning show is Morning Monster because I drink
That's how you
Monster
keep
instead
that
of coffee.
P&L going up.
I started selling this one right here, right over here, and sold through this dip. Got put some shares.
Now
The
let's
reason
clarify for people why do you want to sell premium on the downside when it's down versus up, just so people get the whole thing.
So when stocks are dropping, we have something called implied volatility. This Jack doesn't like the Greeks and stuff, but implied volatility ramps up the premium that's priced into especially put options because people are scared to death the stock's going down. They're buying puts like crazy because that's insurance against going down. That jacks up the premium on those put options, creates implied volatility. Um, we're implying through the price that the price of the stock is going to keep going down.
Anytime you open a position for a credit, it's better to do it in a high IV environment, whether that's a vertical spread, selling a naked put, whatever.
Yeah. So higher prices mean higher premium available, which gets you more money to make that obligation to buy those shares.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as Jack says, if you don't think this is getting to a support level or it's in a downtrend and you think it's going to keep going, this is where my technical analysis expertise comes in, that I pick bottoms and get it right more often than I get it wrong. I started going after this one in November, December. And I was like, I'm not wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure it's going to bottom. It's working on the bottom. And, I did get some more put to me here. And then we started recovering. And I got called out several times. I got called out in here. I got called out in here. I got put more here. And I actually stopped doing it because we got into a resistance level and I expect another pullback on Celsius. So I stepped away from the bar on this one for a couple of weeks.
But you got paid.
I got paid a lot all the way through here.
Payments, man. That's like, what I love about that is you're taking money out of the market. You're not really making it. You're taking it, right?
Now, when people are buying those puts, you're actually taking the other side. You're selling them the puts. So so that juicy premium that they're paying to buy those puts because they're scared, you're sitting there collecting it as profits.
Get lightheaded just think about it.
You don't even need coffee in the morning when you got juicy premiums, juicy lessons like this, man.
This is one of the best recordings I think we ever made.
For sure. We're gonna get this out to everyone.
Hey, Jack and I have some very powerful conversations over the years. And I think this is another one of those, Jack.
I always love working with you, man. I tell you, got it down.
Yeah, and so there's a similar strategy. So we're gonna unless is there any more tidbits of info they need to know for
I
Yes.
think I think we
One,
ought to talk about Tesla for a minute, Jack. What do you
well,
think?
let's back up and just let me say one thing before we get into Tesla is that if you do this wheel, a lot of times I did it with dividend stocks and it just starts to pile up, right? When you
Yeah.
invest in that dividend, it's crazy.
Oh yeah,
Your
dividend stocks
correction is
that's
going
a
to
whole
be
nother level of extra juice on there.
a whole nother level of juice. But yeah, this is great. And that's the only thing I wanted to mention. Don't forget the dividends. But yeah, let's jump into Tesla.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So why do we love this one, Jack?
We love it because it makes no sense and it's always in the news and it's volatile and the options are amazing.
So I've been talking about the potential to drop to 270. We've talked about that a few weeks now. We're still sitting in here just not really going higher, not really going lower.
Grinding.
But because it's in the news constantly, what does that bring?
Volatility.
Volatility and juicy premium.
Volatility makes juicy, hot, big, fat, juicy premiums. And what's
So
happening, what's great about Tesla is it's really a news-driven stock. And it's really about Elon, you love him or hate him. Very few people are indifferent toward him. So that's like a great tug of war between the bulls and the bears, and you get to see it play out in this stock all the time, and even more so in the options on Tesla. But first, we got to look at the stock, right?
yeah, we got to look at the stock. And right now, it's in a little bit of a downtrend here. Lower highs, lower
Mhm.
highs. We have the potential to drop down to the support level that I've been talking about. And that 270 level is a great place to be hunting for and selling put premium on down days right now. At least I feel like it is. I have been doing the same. And yeah, I went a little risky this week myself in my own account and some of my own accounts and went for a leveraged long and sold a $10 strike put option on this one because of the floor that's been established here in this leveraged long version. I've been selling this 10 because I kind of want to get put this because I believe that we're going to have some upside on
What's the
Tesla.
price on
You're
that
doing
$10?
weekly on that as well.
Yeah, these have weeklies also.
What's the price on that $10 naked put?
Let's go down and take a look really quickly into the options. I love that they added options on Trading View. If it'll pull it up here for me. Let me pop back over. Let me grab the other tab and
Are
see
we
if
going month out here?
I've been going weeks out at a time because the premium's juicy and this thing moves around so much that it gives you flexibility to adjust where you are. Like that $10 strike out a month is running 77 cents.
That's crazy. High. That's so high,
For a $10 strike, 77 cents.
man. That's crazy.
For the 3 day out right now, we're looking, it's bleeding off. And for you would want to look probably tomorrow at going out a week. 1 week out, Jack, a month out was 70 cents. A week out is 39 cents, 30,
That's
36,
wild.
39 cents. So
Dude,
almost 50% of going out a month.
see, what's weird about that is the weeklies are priced higher, right?
Yeah, they are. That's why I love the weeklies, especially on this one.
Now, that's how I always tell people. They say, hey, Jack, why do you do the monthlies? Wouldn't you be better off doing the weeklies? And the way you can always tell is just take a weekly, multiply it by 4. And you can see if you're better off with the weekly or the monthly. In a lot of cases, you are better off with the weekly, especially with a stock like Tesla, just because of the volume in the options can be, even when Tesla isn't the most traded stock by volume, sometimes the Tesla options are the most traded options by volume. So you're always going to get a good bang for your buck, whatever you do with Tesla.
And even if we were going Tesla, we can look at that month out, that 270, Look at that juiciness, 450 right there.
Now,
Yeah.
let's tell people this. Now, if you got the stock assigned to you at 270 and that was your strike price on a naked put and you sold it for 453, your cost is 270 minus 453, right?
Yeah, so you're almost down to 265 and change at
That's
that
why
point.
it's so hard to lose with naked puts. You can even turn around and sell it for the same price you had it assigned to you at and still make 453. No
Yeah.
strategy. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
plus if it's down there and you got put that at the money is now going to be crazy, like $22.
on a call. So turn around and sell the call after you get put to. So you make 450 and 22.90.
And then you sell you can sell the 22.90. So now you're making $2,000 just to commit to selling it for the same price you bought it at.
Yeah.
Stuff I love. That's the stuff I live for right there. That's money. I'm an income guy, and you're making me lightheaded with all this income. I got a lot of work to do here when we get done.
I think everyone does. So and you do trade Tesla, right, Jack?
Yeah, yeah.
So how do we do it? How do you do it? Let's
Well,
get into that.
I don't actually trade the stock because I got a better way to skin the cat. And of course, it uses options, but we never ever take a position in the stock. And it doesn't matter if the stock goes to $10 or $1,000, because, like I say, Tesla has a unique phenomenon in the stock in that it will normally move 1 to 2%, even when it goes down. Right? We've been able to kill it with this strategy, and there's really no way to predict the stock, but we've done a phenomenal job with this better way to skin the cat strategy with Tesla. We call it the Tesla payout program, and it's been on fire. So
I don't know. I don't know if everybody wants to. I don't know how many people want to hear this, man. Why would they be excited? Why would they be? Does anybody want to hear this? How he gets the Tesla payouts without
every week?
Tesla
Every
stock?
week.
Every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
think
a secret.
everybody would.
It's been flying below the radar, but we're about to let the cat out of the bag. And man, oh man, this is also so fun, right?
What? Actually, you just had a winner on this week.
Just had a winner. We have winners it's winner chicken dinner every week, baby.
Right?
What are you talking about? But it's fun. It's powerful. The opportunities are endless. It's so cheap, right? Instead of paying $1,400 to buy a call option, you can get into these trades for around $100. So it's affordable, big bang for the buck. Could do it every week. Pretty much anybody can do it. It flies below the radar, and you're going to dig it.